Ladies and gentlemen, you're now listening to Who You Got with Kale and Sam. Now, who do you got?
Welcome to our new series of Season 1 and Episode 1 of this year's 2024 NFL season. In this series, what we're going to do is we're going to name off every week of who we got, who's going to win games, who's going to lose, and then as the season goes, we're going to have an overall record of between you and I, and whoever comes on here, they also qualify. If they come on constantly, then they also qualify. So, Sam, you want to explain more what this is?
You pretty much nailed it.
Oh.
I mean, it's pretty much, we give our picks for the week of the games in the NFL each week. And we give our pick who we think is going to win. And at the end of the year, whoever had the best record gets a prize.
And which that prize I'll be making, be my own. I can't give away what it is.
No,
I mean, you already know what it is.
I know what it is, but we can't give that away.
But I got to build it first.
Yep.
But, yeah, this should be an interesting time. But, and you know what? Every week, whoever loses that week will have to wear a clown shirt. I think it's behind this chair. But
you didn't lose it, did you?
No, I know it's behind this chair.
You guys like this chair I'm in?
That's my computer chair. I built that.
It's meant for a guy that's Kale size, not for a guy that's me size.
It was one of my buddy's semi chairs that he gave me, and I decided to take it out of my concrete truck. And then what I did is I made it into a computer chair, which, to be honest, is a pretty comfy ass chair. To be honest, no, not in the house. Not in the house.
That'd be cool. I mean, a little back and forth. Like, all right, here's my pick for this week. Kale, what about you? Toss you the ball.
Okay, we'll do that. We're gonna do this as we go, I guess. I like that. This is gonna be,
I just thought of that on the fly, guys.
Wow.
I like it.
Using your fucking brain.
For once in my life, right?
How was your week?
Good. This week seems longer than usual, but just busy and getting things done. Things are going good though. How about you?
Long. Holiday season coming up.
Yeah, that's true.
Going on vacation next week, or this week when this comes out.
True.
We got some college football playing on the background, so if you see like a bunch of like TV colors changing on us, so we're watching the Oklahoma Temple game.
Yep, it is on.
Tomorrow's Husker football.
Husker football. You see, I'm sporting the Husker headband shirt.
I got the hat on.
I'm actually going to the game. Got UTEP on the docket. I think that's a game we should totally destroy them. I've never been to a season opener before, so I'm assuming it will be pretty exciting. I've been to 10 Husker games before in my life, and I think I'm pretty good luck. We've won 7 of those, so
if they lose tomorrow, if somehow they lose tomorrow,
you're gonna blame me for bad luck.
For one, yeah. For two, this won't age well.
It will not. It won't. I'm 7-3.
I will make a clip.
I'm 7-3 in Husker games I've been to, and if we win this game, which we should, I'll be 8-3. But if we lose, I'll be 7-4, which still is pretty good.
Also, don't forget to check out our newest Power Hour series.
Yep.
Have it on the playlist and on the YouTube channel.
Yep. We go over every position in football.
Yep. And I think it was a good time we did it. So.
Yep. You'll definitely be able to tell, at least with me, definitely, which positions I pay more attention to than others.
I think I nailed most of it on the lineman. I mean, I'm a big guy, so.
That's his people. I feel like I did pretty good with quarterbacks and running backs. I think those are the two I was most confident with. But I digress. Why don't we get into this here, Kale?
Go ahead. Start off with your first pick.
First pick of week 1, we got Thursday night football. We got Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs. AFC Championship rematch. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Wouldn't have it any other way to kick off the season. Both of our top 2 quarterbacks from our Power Hour series playing for these teams. Let's see. Is it at Kansas City?
Yes.
It is at Kansas City. So That'll be tough. Chiefs walking into Arrowhead to try to take on the Chiefs.
The noisy ass, obnoxious fans.
Yeah. But Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, like I think
I think they can get it done.
they're going to be hungry for a victory against these guys, hungry for revenge. And hey, Chiefs were upset last year, season opener against your Lions. So I'm going to go with Baltimore and Lamar defending MVP, reigning MVP. They're going to take down the Chiefs in week 1. Who you got?
I got the Chiefs on that game. Wait, no, I got the Ravens. I'm going to switch it up. I think the Ravens are going to win. I think Lamar is going to prove to people that he is the guy still. And not like I'm saying that he's old or anything, but
No.
that dude doesn't really have much to prove. But he just
I mean, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame at this point.
Yeah. You know,
I just think going in there with that running game, that Derrick Henry and the offense they're going to bring in there, it's going to be a new offense. Their defense is always stout. And I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs are going to come out and struggle a little bit, and that's okay. They're still going to be great this year. I think Ravens get them in this one.
I think Derrick Henry is a lifer on the well, not really a lifer, but like
finish his career in Baltimore.
Yep.
It's cool because I feel like he fits the Ravens. Like he looks good in the Ravens uniform more than the Titans.
All right, next
second game.
I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to pull up the upset on the Eagles. You know, in the Power Hour, we kept saying how good they were, but Jordan Love is a sneaky little guy, so
I guess it would be an upset. Eagles are definitely.
I mean, let's be honest. They're going in there as an underdog.
They are. They truly are. Eagles have more weapons.
So, your pick. Who you got?
You got to catch and tuck. I got the. That's tough. I'm going to go with my Packers. I'm going to sound biased because I am a Packers fan, but I got to go with them. It's going to be tough. The Eagles got some new guys on offense, Saquon Barkley. I still think the Eagles are going to be really good this year. I think it's going to be kind of a dogfight, though. It's going to be a really good game down there in Sao Paulo, Brazil. On Friday night.
We don't say it like that.
You know,
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
You don't see Friday night NFL very much, and I just think it's gonna be a dogfight, man. I don't think it's gonna be super high scoring, but it's not gonna be super low scoring. It's gonna be like the 20s, 30s. It's gonna come down to, I think, who can manage the game better, and I think Jordan Love is gonna be able to make some of those throws in the clutch moment over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts might have a costly turnover. It's gonna be interesting, but I gotta roll with my Packers in week 1. We got to start the year off with the dub. Okay, going into Sunday, I got Cardinals Bills. Arizona Cardinals at Buffalo Bills. I think I got to roll with the Bills here. I think they just have a better team all around. Yeah, they lost their top 2 receivers in the offseason, but Josh Allen versus Kyler Murray, you look at the quarterback situation. You look at the defenses. Buffalo's got a better defense. They're playing at home. They were obviously been a lot better in recent years. I got to roll with Buffalo in week 1 over Arizona.
All right. I'm going to go with Buffalo as well. I think that Josh Allen still has somewhat to prove. I mean, losing Stephon Diggs, now he's going to show that he is.
And Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis as well as number 2. He's going to have to show that his haters as well that maybe he got lucky with the players that he had.
Well,
but
that's a good point, too, because Josh Allen didn't become the Josh Allen we know and love until he got Stephon Diggs in 2020.
And Gabe Davis, and then whoever else on that team.
Diggs was the big acquisition that year that really made Allen go off that year.
Yeah.
Next game, we got Patriots at Bengals.
I'm going to go based off our power hours. I really think that the Bengals are going to win out of that one. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah. I think here.
I'm not done.
Okay. Keep going.
Bengals are easy going to blow out. Joey B going to come back from that injury. So, I mean, he's going to show that, hey, just because I'm injured, I'm still going to ball out and be Joey B than I am with that ridiculous haircut. But
so stupid. I love Joey B, man, but that haircut,
we are going to see how well they do without Joe Mix and whoever else they lost. And
well, until Jamar Chase signs, too. He hasn't signed yet.
yeah.
That's 49ers finally just got Ayuk signed. And Jamar Chase hasn't signed yet, and he showed up to practice late.
You can't do that. You can't do that, Jamar. Oh.
What are you doing, dog? I'm going to get up and get that. It's a walk of shame.
I'm sorry.
That's why Kale didn't play quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe I just dropped it. Maybe that's why I didn't play wide receiver.
You got that Butterfinger disease.
Yeah, I got to go with Cincinnati as well. I think it's a no-brainer. Patriots are just kind of lackluster all around. Yeah, they got a solid defense, but offensively, I just don't think they have the firepower to keep up with Joey B in that Cincinnati offense. As long as Jamar Chase signs, you're gonna have to deal with him, T. Higgins, the rookie Jermaine Burton, and all the attention on those guys leaves, probably gonna have rushing lanes open for Zach Moss out of the backfield. So he's not quite the weapon Joe Mixon was, but I think he'll get it done for them as just your standard power running back. So far we're in agreement on all the games. This next one maybe a little tougher. We got Minnesota Vikings at New York Giants.
Tougher? What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just give me the ball. I already know my pick.
Well, I haven't given mine yet.
All right.
So Vikings at Giants. Okay, you got two struggling quarterbacks throughout their careers. You got Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. Darnold started his career with another New York team, the Jets. I think the Vikings do have the better team on paper, but until you see them go out there on the field, who knows? Darnold, who knows how he plays with the rest of those guys? I think he can do well with a good supporting cast, but Jones is, he's with some guys he's not too familiar with either, and Jones has really just been trash throughout his whole career anyway. Probably go with Vikings. Gotta go with the Vikings in this one. I just think it might be. These are two lackluster teams that I don't think will make the playoffs.
Who'd you go with?
Vikings.
It's a tough choice.
You said it wasn't tough.
I don't know.
Give me the ball. I already know my pick.
What you just said made me rethink it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
If Kirk Cousins was still in Minnesota, I'd say Vikings easily, but quarterback situation has changed. Sam Darnold isn't really that dude. He might be.
I know, but now I can say if I pick I was gonna pick the Vikings because J.J. McCarthy, but
yeah, obviously
ACL or MCL, whatever it was, out for a year. I don't know. I am gonna go with the Vikings because I don't think Daniel Jones ain't gonna do it. Tommy DeVito ain't gonna do it.
Drew Lock.
And when we talked about our power, we talked about one guy that is gonna do it all, and that was Malik Neighbors.
That's a rookie wide receiver.
Did you hear that he got a number 1 jersey number? He had to go through his family that's retired the number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yep. Next game,
Tennessee Titans at Chicago Bears. That one might be. I already know my pick, but go ahead.
I hate to say it, Bears.
Okay.
Bears are going to walk in there and stomp on the Titans. And I'm going to say that because, again, back to the power hour, offensive line. They have a solid offensive line. They picked up some people. They got some people to help out Caleb Williams on receiving core, DJ Moore. Who else? I can't remember his dude's name.
Keenan Allen.
Roma
Dunze.
Yep. Dunze, which he got his own fucking.
And they got Swift at running back, DeAndre Swift.
Yep. So
they should be able to do it all offensively. Chicago, they got the pieces to succeed.
Who you got?
I think Caleb Williams is going to come out. He's going to sling that rock up and down that field.
With painted nails.
With painted nails. My nails aren't painted, in case they're not. I don't do that. Anyway, Caleb Williams, he's that dude. He just is. He's going to come out and carve up that Tennessee defense. I don't think they have a great defense. And they have the weapons around. Caleb Williams, I think, is just going to have his way with that defense. Tennessee's going to struggle offensively without Derrick Henry. They don't have their workhorse. Tony Pollard is like the polar opposite of Derrick Henry at running back. And yeah, they've got some talented receivers. I don't trust Will Levis. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Will Levis. I think he'll end up being a bust, in my opinion. And I just think I agree with you. Chicago comes in there and steamrolls the Titans, and I hate saying that because I'm a Packers fan. You're a Lions fan. We don't like the Bears. We don't like the Vikings either. We picked them to win too. So I just think NFC North's gonna be tough this year. I go with the Bears. Traitor. Next one, Panthers at Saints. Little NFC South divisional rival game. This one could be kind of tough because both teams kind of underachieved last year. Obviously, Carolina is one of the worst teams in the league. New Orleans underachieved because everyone thought Derek Carr was going to come in there and light it up. He did not do that. But Carolina improved some pieces this year. I just think Derek Carr is on the down spin of his career. It's tough. That's tough. I mean, Carolina's defense isn't terrible either. Saints is middle of the pack. I think I gotta roll with the Saints though in this one. I gotta roll with the Saints. I just think they have a little bit more firepower than the Panthers. They have a little bit better defense, and I think where Bryce Young fails, Derek Carr will succeed to start the season. Part of me believes at some point this year that Derek Carr will get replaced by Spencer Rattler, who had a great offseason for the Saints. What you got?
Jesus.
That was that option pitch.
Now you're going to hear that in the mic. Oh.
Oof. Oof.
That is a tough one. They both are not great, but one is better than the other, and I have to go with the Saints. I just think Panthers all around, they're not really – they're still young.
Yeah,
so
they're a young team, and they just don't have it yet.
Yep, a young team. They don't have it. And they're going to see if Bryce Young can get it done this year. And then, again, I agree. Derek Carr is going to set the predicate,
I think the Saints will just have a better ground game, too. They'll be able to control the clock better.
Run the ball. And
Alvin Kamara over Chuba Hubbard.
And then you got Jamin, Williams back there.
Jamal Williams. Taysom Hill can get it done running the ball.
Wherever, actually, more.
Chris Olave's turning out to be one of the better receivers in the league. They got some studs, And Derek Carr, I mean, he's had a solid career. He's inconsistent. He's inconsistent. Yes. Next game. Steelers at Falcons. This one might be a tough one. Oh, this is the toughest one yet.
This is where we're gonna have a different opinion probably.
We might, yeah. I think I know my pick already though.
I kind of want to go with Steelers, but I don't know. I don't know.
You got to really look in depth on both teams and really.
Well, you got to look at the stories too.
You got to look at the stories. They both have. Think about it. Their starting quarterbacks are both aging starting quarterbacks from the 2012 draft.
One's trying to fix his career, and one's coming back off injury.
Yep. Russell Wilson's trying to put his Hall of Fame career back on that trajectory.
I think it's going to be a pretty close game.
Well, who you got?
I know. I think it's going to be a close game, but I have the Steelers walking out of that one.
Walking out of Atlanta with the dub?
Yes.
Okay.
Very young team with Russell Wilson. I think.
What if he gets benched? Or what if he gets hurt?
They got Justin Fields.
You think Justin Fields will get it done?
Again, trying to fix his career.
True. He's a youngster trying to not be a bust.
Who you got?
Again, they're two teams that they're interesting. They both have solid pieces on offense. You look at the quarterback situation. Right now, Kirk Cousins looks like a better option than Russell Wilson. You look at the running backs. They both have solid young running backs, Najee Harris and Deshaun Robinson. And the receiving core, they both have young receiving core, and they both have solid tight ends. Defensively, I think they both have solid defenses too. That's tough. That's truly tough. I don't know. I just think Russell Wilson has struggled these past couple of years. Obviously, he was better last year than he was the year before. I just think he's struggled so much, and Kirk Cousins has always been solid when healthy. And I think it's going to come down to who plays better quarterback, and I think that'll be Kirk. And I'm going to roll with the Falcons. And plus, they're at home. So
I don't think we were going to really debate that one because that one was really a tough one itself.
that was our first different one. Moving on, we got Jaguars at Dolphins. This one's interesting. You got the Dolphins, who were one of the most explosive offenses in the league last year in terms of speed and big plays and yards and points. Then you got the Jaguars, who underachieved immensely last year. They made the playoffs in 2022. Trevor Lawrence's career was on the uprise. Then he got hurt last year, and they stalled out. They lost a bunch of games down the stretch and missed out on the playoffs. I still feel Trevor is a better quarterback than Tua, though. Like, I would take Trevor over Tua. I would. I think he's more upside. Tua's one of those where, like, if the timing and the structure gets thrown off, he struggles. Trevor can improvise a little bit. He doesn't have as good receivers. It is at the Dolphins. It'll be a tough one. I think a tough one. I think the Dolphins open up the year, though, with a win at home. I think the Jags will struggle to stop Tyreek. And I think the Dolphins usually always start the season off strong. Tua has a big game. Trevor will have a good game. I think he'll have a good year. Jaguars will make it back to the playoffs, but it'll be a close one. But I think the Dolphins will edge them in week 1. I do. Who you got?
Don't throw it so hard. Damn. Because it's going to cause issues, or it might hit my computer and be like, I'm going to go with Dolphins. Pretty explosive team. I think the Jaguars are pretty good, but, Warren's coming back from injury, right? So,
Yeah, he is.
And they got, they lost some people. So
they lost Calvin Ridley, which is big.
They're going to have to get back into it, used to it again. Things don't happen overnight.
If they can throw Tua off his timing, they might have a chance, but I don't know. Like I said, I think it'll be a good game. I just think Dolphins will edge them in week 1. 2 Florida teams. How about that? Next game, AFC South matchup. Texans at Colts.
Texans, easily. I think they're gonna come in there and they're gonna just bounce right back to where they were last year when they left off. You got, CJ Stroud probably gonna have a monster year again. Nico Collins gonna have another good year. Tank Dell.
Don't forget they have Diggs too.
Oh, yep. Diggs
they
is
have
gonna
Mixon at running back.
Really gonna prove that, he's still one of the best receivers, just again on a different team for his 3rd time in his career. But yet again, we're also going to see if he's the drama queen that was the issue.
In Buffalo and in Minnesota.
Yeah. So, who you got? See, that's how you throw a nice short pass.
That's how you throw a good indoor football.
MVP right here. This guy.
Yeah, I got to go Houston, man. They got too much firepower. Their defense is good. I think they could be one of those teams where they have a 4,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, and 2,000-yard receivers. Yeah, I think there's not much thought to that one. Houston, definitely. Next game, Raiders at Chargers. I'm going to go Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh is getting the pieces put together in LA. Defensively, I think obviously they've lost a bunch of receivers, a bunch of weapons. The Chargers have this offseason, but Herbert's that dude. I think they're relying on him to just kind of be the offense. Josh Palmer will do a good enough job to be the number 1 receiver. What?
Palmer. Chicken parm. Chicken bacon ranch parm.
Plus they're
The souffle.
Plus they're at home. Raiders, they got some unknowns. I think they'll play them tough to start. I think it'll start off being a good game. I think the Raiders will play some tough defense. They'll run the ball. They'll try to get the ball to Devontae. Gardner will play a solid game at QB. But at some point, I think the Chargers will just pull away, and Jim Harbaugh's coaching experience will start to show, and Justin Herbert will start to make some explosive plays. So I got the Chargers winning against the Raiders in week 1. Who you got?
I got the Raiders.
Okay.
I have the Raiders because Gardner Minshew's going to come there and play like a dog. Again, we talked about how he looks as a person. Dude, I tell you what,
He fits the Raiders.
that porno
He just
stash,
does.
he's going to go in there and just fucking sling it down the field. Like Uncle Rico. Over the mountains.
You're going to throw it over the mountains.
You know, Devontae, he's going to have that good receiver on there. He also got a good defense in there. Max Crosby is going to really prove that, hey, the Raiders ain't nothing to play with. He's been trying to prove it for the last few years.
Max Crosby's a dog. He is.
Yep.
Raiders got some dogs. I could see you making a case for them.
Offense, I mean, they could be pretty explosive, but they got a good coach, Antonio Pierce, so I think he's going to motivate his team to
This
get
year will
that
really show how he does with a full season as head coach.
I think, though, too, I mean, Chargers, yeah, but it's going to prove if Harbaugh can still coach in NFL.
True. He did good with the 49ers.
He did, but sometimes people go back to the ways they were. It might expose them, might not.
Yeah.
Next game,
we got Broncos at Seahawks. There's an interesting one. Not really. I know who I got, though.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on it. You know, you look at the Denver Broncos, they're coming off a year with, Sean Payton being their coach for the first year. And then, they got some missing pieces that left. Or they had people come in and then people leave.
Russell Wilson left.
Jerry Jeudy
left.
But they picked up, who was it again?
They let go of Tim Patrick, too.
Which the Lions signed. That was kind of a loss for them, a big loss, I think. But again, it's just Sean Payton being Sean Payton.
Marvin Mims.
Yep.
Rookie receiver, right?
Yep.
Rookie?
And now they got the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they losing Pete Carroll. But I think they're going to build on from the last few years. With Geno Smith at quarterback at the helm. And then they also got Kenneth Walker at the running back. And then they got
Charbonnet.
DK Metcalf. And then Tyler Lockett.
Metcalf.
I'm going to go with Seahawks. Who you got?
Actually, Seattle, they have a solid offense. They got solid skill positions. Geno, he's had back-to-back solid years. They have a good receiving core, good running backs. Offensively, they're good, and their defense is hit and miss. You look at the Broncos, like you said, they're going into year 2 as with Sean Payton as head coach. They lose Russ. They lose, I guess, Tim Patrick, who was kind of hit and miss for them. They still have Cortland Sutton, though, who's a solid wide receiver 1, underrated as heck. Javonte Williams, underrated running back. Hopefully he can stay healthy for them. Marvin Mims, the rookie wide receiver. And Bo Nix, rookie quarterback. First rookie quarterback to start week 1 for the Broncos since John Elway.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. Since 1983. Bo Nix.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Did you just think about it? Like, just
What'd you think about it?
yeah.
And I think Bo Nix is a little bit of a dog. I think he might be that quarterback, that answer at quarterback the Broncos have been looking for since Peyton Manning retired.
But I mean,
And I think he'll be
you
a
gotta think
I
about
think he'll
other
be-
positions, just the quarterback.
he'll be
they'll get it, but
He'll be a good fit with Sean Payton. Well, Cortland Sutton is a solid wide receiver 1. They can run the ball. They'll be able to run the ball. I don't know. I think they'll be able to walk into Seattle week 1 and pull off the dub. And it'll be the start of the Bo Nix story.
You can see it.
They'll pull off the upset. It'll be close. It'll be a close game. Dogfight.
I just think
they'll win it on a game-winning field goal. They'll win
You
it
think
on a
they're gonna
game-winning
walk
field
off?
goal. Game-winning field goal. Walk off.
I don't know.
And Bo Nix.
I think the more experience in the Seahawks and what they have, I think they're gonna sneak out.
Yeah, sure.
Sneak out with their touchdowns and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the practical answer. This is my upset of the week. This is my upset of the week. You like it?
No.
This is the Russell Wilson Bowl, technically. Those are his last 2 teams he played for.
Yeah, but then he...
All right. Cowboys at Browns.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go Browns. That's, I think if Deshaun can come out and play like we know he can play, the MVP caliber year he had back in 2020, with the weapons he has. You got Amari Cooper, former Cowboy. Jerry Jeudy now in the Browns. David Njoku, solid tight end. Nick Chubb will be out the first 4 weeks, but Jerome Ford is a solid running back. They have a great defense. And the Cowboys are going to struggle against that defense because they've got no running game. I guess we'll see, but I don't think they'll have a running game. Zeke, Rico Dowdle. I heard they signed Dalvin Cook recently.
Really?
Yeah, the Cowboys have.
I thought
He's like around the same age as Zeke, though. He hasn't really done much lately, so I'm not going to hold my breath. CD did sign. They're going to struggle to pass the ball if they can't develop a running game. They struggled last year, but at least Tony Pollard still had 1,000 yards.
Still think he's not as good as people think he is.
And the Browns have a good defense. Myles Garrett is that dude. And I just think that they'll be able to play balanced on offense and play some dominating defense. Plus, they're at home. I got Browns over the Cowboys in week 1. That wasn't even hard, dude. That was that was just lineman hands right there.
I accidentally fucking smacked it. I'm going to go with the upset with Browns as well. Deshaun Watson.
I don't think it's an upset.
How?
Browns were good last year.
Yeah, but
and they're at home.
Everyone thinks that. Well, I'm saying it's upset because they're the underdogs, obviously, because it's the Cowboys.
True.
So the Browns are going to come in there.
Two good teams.
You talked a lot about their offense, but you got their defense. Their defense is a solid defense.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett can get anywhere in the backfield.
I talked about their defense.
I know you did, but I'm going to add more to it.
Add more to it then.
Myles Garrett's going to get in that backfield and destroy Dak Prescott and in their running game.
Yeah.
They got some good safeties in their secondary and corners and stuff.
They won't be able to run it on that defense. And then Myles Garrett's just going to get to tee off on Dak all day long.
Yeah. And, their offense, look at their offensive line. Dude, their offensive line is stacked. It's solid and good. And they got some good receivers. They picked up Jerry Jeudy, They got Amari Cooper, former Cowboy, like you said.
Njoku,
who is a dog.
And even though Chubb is hurt, they got Jerome Ford at running back.
Yes.
Who's solid.
Next game.
We got Commanders at Buccaneers.
I'm going to go with Commanders. I think they're going to come in there and somehow make a statement win.
Okay.
No, changing it. No.
Hey, make up your mind. Who you got? This honestly, this show should be called Make Up Your Mind, Kale.
I'm going to go with Buccaneers. Well, you want me to explain it or not?
You already did.
What? What did I say?
You explained it for the Commanders, and you're like, I'm going to go Buccaneers.
No, I'm going to go Buccaneers. Okay, you know what? Commanders, fuck you.
Pick, who do you want? Who do you think will win? You just...
Now you got me messed up in my head. And
you got him thinking too hard.
Leave my intelligence alone.
Okay.
One brain cell, please.
One brain cell, please.
I don't know. It's gonna be. It's either gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be an upset. That's what I'm thinking, dude.
On who? The Bucks.
Yes.
The Bucks blow them out.
Blow them out,
or the Commanders upset them.
Yeah.
Because it would be an upset if Commanders win. They're the underdog.
Yeah.
Because Bucks were good last year. They've been good since 2020.
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think Baker Mayfield. Give me a fucking second. Jesus. Ball, please.
Dude, give you a second. You've had 5 minutes or longer.
I guess my opinion doesn't matter.
You picked Buccaneers. Go ahead and explain what you were talking about Baker Mayfield.
Go ahead.
I pick the
Okay.
I picked the Commanders. Got the rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, won the Heisman last year. They were dumb and traded Jahan Dotson. But I think they'll be able to play some balanced offense. And I feel like they got a decent defense. No, you know what? I changed it. I'm going to say Buccaneers. Buccaneers are going to freaking dog stomp them. Destroy the Commanders. That's what's going to happen. Jaden Daniels is going to struggle in his first game in the NFL. Baker Mayfield's going to have a solid game. They're going to play balanced offense. And their defense is going to absolutely destroy the Commanders' offense. And that's what's going to happen. Buccaneers win in a landslide. And the next game, this one's juicy. Sunday Night Football, Rams at Lions. Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff.
Back home again.
Rematch of the NFC wildcard round from last season. Rams coming in looking for some revenge. Stafford looking for some revenge against his former team.
He lost by 1 point last year.
And it's going to be a dogfight. That's going to be a fun Week 1 Sunday Night Football match, I think. And it's going to come down to the wire just like it did last year in the playoffs. I think the Lions pull it off, though. I think they just have a little bit more going for them than the Rams. Losing Aaron Donald is huge.
I'm gonna save my opinion.
I think they got a little bit more balanced offense. The Rams have a balanced offense. They got weapons galore. I think the Lions have a better O-line, though. They'll be able to protect Jared Goff. And I think the Lions will be able to get to Stafford a little bit more. Running back-wise, the Lions have a great 1-2 punch. The Rams have a do-it-all in Kyron Williams. They both have solid receiving core. I just think the Lions are the more complete team, and they're going to pull it off in the end. Who you got?
Jeez. Don't do that.
I got it right to you. You caught it.
You're trying to catch me off guard.
I said, who you got?
You already know who I got. It's going to be the Lions for sure. And I'm not going to be saying that, because they're my favorite team.
NFC North goes undefeated in Week 1.
And who'd you pick again?
I picked the Lions.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. We both picked the NFC North in all their games.
I do like the Rams, but I'm going to have to go with the Lions. I'm not saying that because of my team.
He does like Stafford still.
Yes. I think it's going to be a dogfight like last year. And I think Ford Field, once again, is going to come out and show out at home again. So, not much to be said.
Last game of Week 1, Monday Night Football. We got the New York Jets at the San Francisco 49ers. Another interesting one. Who you got, Kale?
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
So you got the story of Aaron Rodgers coming back from a weird-ass injury he had.
Achilles.
And you got Brock Purdy coming in and see if he can keep it up what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And our Power Hour, we had, San Francisco pretty high up there.
Yeah, we did. On a lot of things.
But
everything.
Ayuk just re-signed. It makes you think, is the 49ers going to be the one-and-done team like it was, like if they're like 1 year good and 1 year bad?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yes.
I think they'll be good, personally. But, yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game, 49ers.
You try to throw it here, I hear. I right here, you throw it there, I still catch. Bad throw. You expect me to catch bad pass when you throw it down here. I catch it good.
Make it pick.
So obviously, everyone knows I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan from his time in Green Bay. He's making his comeback this year at San Francisco, a team he struggled against a lot throughout his years in Green Bay. I think he's 0-4 against them in the playoffs. Something terrible like that. I hate the 49ers. But they're at home. I think they have the more complete team. I do think the Jets put up a decent fight, but I think the 49ers pull it off in the end. I think Brock Purdy is just going to manage the game. Jets do have a solid defense, but Brock Purdy's got weapons, man. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Debo. He's got Ayuk. He's got Kittle. Hell, he's even got the fullback Kyle Juszczyk if he really needs him. So, and they got a solid defense, man. And, I think Jets O-line, obviously they'll do a better job of protecting Aaron Rodgers this year, and I think Rodgers won't get hurt 4 plays in like he did last year. I don't think he'll get hurt, and I think he'll play a solid game, but it'll come down to the wire, and I think the 49ers will pull it off in the end. Maybe it goes into overtime.
Yes.
That's week 1.
Week 1. Are we doing week 2?
What?
Are we going to do week 2?
That's up to you, big dog. I'm down.
All right, so we're going to do week 2 also in this episode because next following week I won't be here, and it's just about the only way we can do it.
Week 2.
We're going to probably go a little quicker on this week 2.
So week 2, first game, Thursday Night Football. We got the Bills at Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins. I think with what the Bills have lost, they based on what we predicted, they both are coming off week 1 wins. And I think the Dolphins are going to come out. They're at home. They're going to play their explosive offense. Bills will struggle to stop Tyreek. And they'll be able to kind of put a halt to the Bills' offense because they're going to be lacking weapons. So I got the Dolphins. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Dolphins on that as well. It's going to, again, we talked about in the last game, going to prove how Josh Allen is going to succeed without his players around him. So, next game.
Okay, going into Sunday, we got the Colts at the Packers.
That's easy. That's a cakewalk. Packers.
I'm going to go Packers too.
Bias.
Yeah, sure. Even though you picked them. I don't know. I just think Colts just aren't quite there yet. I think the Colts will be good in the future. They're still too young. Anthony Richardson is still inexperienced. But yeah, I'm going to say Packers. They just have too much firepower. Raiders at Ravens. It's Ravens all day. Ravens at home. Lamar Jackson over Gardner Minshew. The defenses, they're better defensively. Raiders might surprise them in some ways, but the Ravens are just a better football team, hands down. Who you got? Still caught it, technically.
Yeah.
The chair saved you.
Ravens. There's no question, if ands or buts about it. Oh.
Next game, Browns at Jaguars.
Browns, cakewalk.
Okay. I'm going to say Jaguars. They're at home in this game. You got 2 former Clemson quarterbacks going at it, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. Jags will be off a week 1 loss. Browns off a week 1 win. And I think the Jags will be hungry for a victory, and I'm going to go Jaguars.
Nice.
Jags get their first win of the season. Then we got Jets at Titans. I'm going to go Jets. Aaron Rodgers gets his first win with the Jets. Technically, he started the game last year, week 1 against the Bills, and they won. So technically he has 1 win with the Jets as a starter, but his first complete game win as a Jet against the Titans in week 2. I just think they have a better team. Aaron Rodgers is going to play his game. Will Levis is going to struggle against the Jets defense. Who you got? Jets at Titans.
Jets, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to just do Aaron Rodgers things. Will Levis definitely going to be bust, I think.
You heard it here. You good?
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about it?
I think it's kind of a mismatch. Some people don't maybe think that, but I think so. We think so here at TNT Boys.
In the mine shaft.
In the mine shaft. This next game, we got 49ers at Vikings.
I don't know. I'm going to say 49ers. I think it's going to be a start off slow game for both teams. It's going to be a hyped up game, of course. Brock Purdy's just going to come in there and do Brock Purdy things. And
Said that about Aaron Rodgers. Every team he has winning. Oh, Brock Purdy's just come in and do Brock Purdy things. And
I mean, what else am I going to say about the Vikings?
Sam Darnold's going to do Sam Darnold things.
It's the Sam Darnold Bowl.
49ers dog walk the Vikings
Yeah, because
easily.
Brock Purdy's going to do Brock Purdy things.
Christian McCaffrey, actually, and Deebo Samuel. Chargers at Panthers. I got Chargers. They'll win it pretty convincingly. I don't think it'll be a huge blow up, but I think the Chargers just proved to be a little too much. Panthers are still figuring things out really across their whole team. Justin Herbert. I think he's going to have a strong year despite losing some weapons. I think Coach Jim Harbaugh is going to put him on the path. So that's who I got, Chargers, Panthers. Who you got?
I think Chargers are going to come in there and make a statement win with Harbaugh. Again, Panthers are not that good.
No.
They're not there yet, and I don't think they're going to be there
No.
for a while. So, yep, I'm going to go with Chargers. First Harbaugh win, although last week
Second
I said,
for me.
whatever.
Seahawks at Patriots.
Seahawks. Again, Patriots are going to suck this year, so.
Yeah.
Stats-wise, I mean, what we saw and what we...
Defensively, they're solid, though. Losing Judon hurts.
Up a pike.
But having Mayo as the head coach will help.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Wumbo, you wumbo.
Horseradish isn't either. God, dude, actually,
You're going to say it, aren't you?
say what?
The Patriots.
Well, now, hold on.
Hold the horses.
We got Geno Smith versus Jacoby Brissett, supposedly, at the quarterback
Which we were
situation.
wrong on our power hour with that one.
With Patriots?
Yes.
No, I predicted Brissett, I thought. All right, when we did quarterback rankings you're talking about,
I think you did.
I had Brissett starting.
Because he had the experience.
But I had May probably replacing him at some point this season.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the Patriots will have the better defense in this game. And it's in New England. I think Seattle will find a way to come out on top just because Geno and the Seahawks offense are they're gonna find a way to make it work. Patriots just gonna keep struggling offensively, but I think they'll play better than people think. Than people will give them credit for. Saints at Cowboys for the next one. I'm gonna go Cowboys in this one. I think the Saints are just a team that's gonna struggle a little bit this year, and I think they're gonna finally realize. I have them barely beating Carolina week 1, and I think they're gonna struggle against the Cowboys week 2. I think they're gonna slowly realize Derek Carr isn't the answer, and at some point they're gonna switch to Spencer Rattler.
The Rattler Snake.
Who's shown a lot more maturity since his early days in college
In high school.
From the series QB1, right? Is that what it was called? QB1? Yeah. I think the Cowboys just kind of have their way in this one. They're going to be able to run the ball decently. Dak's going to have a solid game statistically. Their CD's going to have a big game. And I think they're going to win pretty convincingly. So I got Cowboys over Saints in week 2. Who you got?
Cowboys. I mean, I just think they're overall better team than the Saints. I don't think the Saints are ready for that noise. That's
They ain't
probably the
ready.
biggest Cowboys compliment you'll ever hear from me.
Dak or Derek Carr, who would you take if you're starting a team at quarterback?
Depends.
Okay, both of them at their best, healthy, in their prime. You're starting a team. You have to pick a quarterback. You have those two to choose.
Derek Carr.
Okay.
I think Derek Carr was better in his prime than Dak Prescott.
Okay. Fair enough.
Next game, dog.
Next game, we got New York Giants at Washington Commanders, an NFC East matchup.
So it's gonna be his battle of the shit.
Sometimes maybe shit. Sometimes maybe also shit.
I think Commanders are gonna sneak out with the dub on that one.
They are at home.
Yep, I think Commanders are second weekend. They're gonna figure it out. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels is gonna show what Jaden Daniels does again.
You didn't say he does Jaden Daniel things, though.
Jaden Heisman Daniels.
Yeah.
So. Woo! 42! Up!
Throw the ball, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the Commanders are going to win pretty convincingly.
No fun for me.
Giants are going to struggle all year. I do have Washington struggling week 1 against Tampa, but I think Jaden Daniels comes in there and has a big game. He's finally going to show what he can actually do against a poor Giants defense at home against his home crowd, and his home opener. He's going to have a good game, and the Commanders will come out with a dub against their division rival. So you heard it. Buccaneers at Lions.
That's going to be another tough one.
It'll be a tough one. A rematch of last year's NFC divisional round. I'm going to go Lions in this one. I just think they have the more complete team. I think Goff is the better quarterback over Baker, even though I do like Baker. Goff is more has had a more successful career, and he's more. I can't think of the word. He's a better game manager, though, for sure. Doesn't turn it over as much, and they just have a more complete team. They're at home, and I just think it's going to be another Lions victory. Not a super close game, but not a blowout either. Maybe a couple touchdowns, 10
Kind of how it
points,
was last year.
something like that. Yeah. Baker won't play a terrible game. Buccaneers won't look bad by any means. I just think the Lions will be the better team. Who you got?
That's a tough one. That is a very tough one. I love my Lions, but I also feel like Baker Mayfield is going to come back in there pissed off and hungry. But
fair enough.
I can't betray my team like that. And it's not me being biased again.
So far, neither of us have picked against our team.
I'm not being biased. I think, again, the Lions are a better overall solid team.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
So, I mean, there's not much to say
better
about
coaching.
Definitely.
Todd Bowles is a solid coach, but Dan Campbell's better.
I would kick a damn door down. I will say it every time I hear that fucking name. I ever hear Dan Campbell kicking a door down? That's just how it is. He makes you want to kick a damn door down.
MCDC.
That's right.
Next game, we got Rams at Cardinals.
That's going to be a cakewalk for the Rams. I don't think the Rams are going to lose that one. I think the Cardinals don't have much to show. They're just the Rams all around better team. Solid and whatnot. So, who you got?
I think the Rams will win too. I think it'll be actually kind of a blowout. I think the Cardinals got some interesting pieces in place offensively. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up. I think the Rams have more experience on their side. I think Rams do have a solid year this year. Even though I have them barely losing to the Lions in week 1, I think the Rams come out here and beat Arizona in Arizona in week 2. Next game, we have an AFC matchup, Steelers at Broncos. This is interesting because you got Russell versus his former team that he used to play for, Denver. And it's in Denver. I'm going to go Broncos. I have them beating Seattle in week 1 because of the Bo Nix. I just have them coming out and getting a dub, finding a way to get it done that first week. And I think versus Russ, this Broncos former quarterback, I think he's going to find a way to get it done again. I like Bo Nix, and he's just going to find a way to win. He's going to find a way to win. The Broncos might not have as good of pieces around, but I think it's going to be a year for Sean Payton to show he's still a good coach as well.
He got that dog in him still.
And Mike Tomlin's kind of also on the hot seat, so it's as interesting. I have the Steelers starting 0-2, Broncos starting 2-0. So, who you got?
I think the Broncos are going to beat the Steelers. I think it's going to be an FU back to Russell Wilson. Because let's be honest.
So you think they're going to stomp on them?
Not entirely.
Okay.
But it's going to be a hard-fought game. And I say it's going to be FU because maybe Russell, there was...
They're still paying Russell.
That and
he's not even playing for him.
There was talks that, hey, Russell does this. He's not really a team player, stuff like that. But
next one up's a good one. The next
ahead.
game. Bengals at Chiefs. Got a good one here. Chiefs have 2 hard games first 2 weeks.
Chiefs.
Okay.
I think they're going to sneak out of there. Is it at home?
It is at Arrowhead.
They're going to sneak out of there with a dub. We're going to go 1-2 or 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. Again, they still have their offensive woes on receiving core.
Yeah.
And their right or left side of their tackles. But I think they're barely going to win it. It's going to be a close game for sure. We got.
I think it'll be a high-scoring game between those 2 offenses, those 2 quarterbacks. I think the Bengals find a way to sneak out of Arrowhead with a win. Burrow seems to be the only guy who has really showed he can consistently beat Mahomes. Really only in the playoffs. I mean, they've played twice in the playoffs. He's the only other quarterback besides Brady to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. But I'm going to go with Cincinnati, and I have the Chiefs starting 0-2. And I'm not saying they're going to have a bad year, but they're going to struggle. Like those first 2 games, they're going up against some other good teams, some other contenders in the AFC, and the Chiefs are going to face some adversity this year. I like the Chiefs. I do. I like Mahomes. They're going to face some adversity this year. They're going to start off the season 0-2 and lose to some other AFC powerhouses, some teams that they have been in some dogfights with, and they're not going to get blown out, but they're going to be in some dogfights in those first couple of weeks against a couple of really tough AFC North teams. Joe Burrow is going to manage the game. Next, we got Bears at Texans. This one is also a little interesting. You got the defending Offensive Rookie of the Year in C.J. Stroud versus the up-and-coming star in Caleb Williams. And it'll be interesting. Both offenses are loaded with weapons. Both have solid defenses, and they both have young quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud's already shown he can do it in a year. Caleb Williams we'll see what he can do. I got to go Texans, though. I'm going to go Texans. They're at home. They have more experience, and I just think they're going to get it done. So I got Texans over Bears. Who you got?
Texans. And I say that again, like you said, both young teams, but I feel like
this is also the Sunday night game, by the way.
I feel like that Texans team is going to have a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
They're going to use it. They're going to go in there, and it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being close. I just think the Texans edge it out in the end.
Yep.
Monday Night Football, we got the Falcons at the Eagles.
I'm going with Eagles because why? Kirk Cousins has proved over time and time again that he's not primetime Kirk. Ever.
Yeah.
Like ever. Again, second game in the year. We're gonna have to see how he does in the first game. Maybe he gets hurt again, or sometimes those MCL injuries or ACL injuries they could easily happen.
Could be
again.
Michael Penix Jr.'s time to shine.
That and they got Kyle Pitts and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm wishing him an injury, but
could happen though.
Sometimes people slowly ease back into it.
Yeah.
But again, Going with Eagles. They just seem like a high-power offense and a good defense. You know, they got all their players in the receiver core. There's Dotson.
Dotson in the slot.
Yep. And then they got, A.J. Brown and whoever else again. And then Jalen Hurts, he also has something to prove as well. See if he's still the guy at Philly. But your last pick is who? You got.
You short-armed it, man.
I did not. You just have the butterfingers.
I got the Eagles too. Again, it's going to be a year that they're really giving Jalen Hurts no excuse to not succeed this year. He's, either he's the guy or he's not this year. They got the O-line, they got the receivers, they got the running back. Offensively, they should be a powerhouse this year. And I got the Eagles. I think they're at home. They got the better offense. I think Kirk Cousins. He'll struggle. You think back to the 2022 playoff game versus the Giants, and the Giants were huge underdogs. And Daniel Jones came in there and outplayed Kirk Cousins. So he struggles in prime time, and I think he's going to do it again. Jalen Hurts has proven he can win. He's a proven winner. He's made the playoffs every year. He's been the full-time starter. And I think he's playing with the vengeance this year. He's playing to really cement his claim as an elite NFL quarterback. So I got the Eagles in week 2 against the Falcons. So on Monday Night Football.
There you go. There's 1 week and 2 weeks.
That's one episode in 2 weeks, not 1 week.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like we did 1 week and we did 2 weeks together.
That's weeks 1 and 2 NFL predictions
And
from the TNT boys.
Yeah, and the reason
Who
why
you got?
The reason why we're doing it this way is because next week I'll be gone.
Just makes things easier, given the situation. And yeah.
But yeah, once again, I'd like to say thank you for watching. We appreciate the feedback on this one. We hope this is going to be a good show, what we're going to be doing. We also can do like a little bit of a rundown here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of make it more of our current event deal.
Yep.
Because usually we record in advance most times. So don't forget to follow us on social medias. You just hit the mic.
Sorry.
It's all good. Remember to follow us on social medias. Agent Life Media Group.
Touching base. Useless assumptions.
Talking dirt. As technically another sport podcast if you think about it. Or NASCAR and fishing, pro fishing. They do great stuff over there.
Yeah.
Useless assumption is your bullshit politic one.
A little bit of sports there too.
I mean, not bullshit, but
the political side of sports.
Touching base is, you like that, the stories about people, how they came from their upbringings and how they got their starts.
Yep.
Definitely check those out. We have a variety for everybody.
That is correct.
Just make sure to show love with everybody.
Okay, peace out. Bye.
Peace out. Bye.